Welcome back, everybody, to the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM, on Facebook at TTT Live Online, and we are also live on YouTube. You can just search for TTT Live Online and be part of the show. Now, we want to continue our conversation this morning, trying to help people. And April has been designated as Second Chance Month. What is that all about, and what is being done to, give people a second chance here in Trinidad and Tobago? I have with me Mr. Krishna Bidesi, who is the president of the National Alliance of Faith and Justice Trinidad and Tobago, and also Mr. Carlisle Holder, and he is from the United States.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
he is also an author, and you are partnering with Trinidad and Tobago to help our young people.
Yes, well, I'm also a native son, so I was born in Belmont and migrated to the United States at 17, and did a brief career with the United States Marines, and then went in the federal prison system where I did 27 and a half years.
And now you're here.
Well, I've written a book, and Can Any Good Thing Come Out of Prisons, as a roadmap where we have to restructure prison so that it serves our community better, and us as a taxpayers, making sure that we get the right return on our investment.
And the National Alliance of Faith and Justice, in collaboration with the criminal justice system professionals and ministers of the gospel, are working together to build what you're calling a better tomorrow for people. What exactly is happening?
Well, one of the things that we're focusing on is pointing people away from crime, violence, and incivility, because we have a lot of that in the society now, particularly our young people, and helping them to focus on building a better life. And so we are partnering with Carlisle Holder Ministries, NALIS, and the Trinidad and Tobago Prison Service to highlight some of those issues during this month, which is Second Chance Month. And this week actually is Re-Entry Week.
And it's being done through the hashtag Saving Our Sons?
Yeah, that's one of the initiatives that we have, Saving Our Sons.
Yeah.
And really we are focusing on our young men and pointing them in a different direction. We are using education and salvation to assist in the process of reducing incarceration among our young men.
How do we do that? How do we convince our young men to not get involved in a life of crime?
Well, we've been moving around the organization. I've been moving around the country into communities. We do work in communities, basketball courts, play fields, street corners, and so on, engaging our young people in a host of different activities, from sports, recreational activities, cultural activities, and so on.
Right. And it sounds like an interesting initiative because you're focusing on the young men, and your book is entitled, Can Anything Good Come Out of Prison? That's the burning question. Can anything good come out of prison?
Well, it's based on biblical scripture, John 1:4-6. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? And I believe as a community, we have to be sensitive and not have contempt for people that break the law. It doesn't excuse their actions, but what do we do once we have them under our care? I think we have an obligation to make sure that they receive the right rehabilitation or habilitation programs, so when they leave our jails or our prisons, they become productive citizens. And I think everybody wins. The community is safer. As a taxpayer, we get a better return on our investment.
But do you think anything can come out of prison?
Very much so. And
you say that and people might be thinking, probably I should go and see what happens.
Well, actually, when we leave this program this morning, we're heading up to the prisons.
Right.
And there's a host of persons who have come out of the prison system here in Trinidad that are doing well. And we're having a mentoring session at YTC with those people, addressing currently incarcerated persons.
So those who would have gone through the system will be telling people about their experience.
Yeah, because they have come out and they've experienced and successfully.
I think what we have is we take the few bad apples and we paint a picture that everybody goes out and comes out, does the bad things. I think you will find out that most people, when they leave, they want to rebuild their lives, they want to rebuild their families. And as you know, all it takes is one bad apple, and it paints a picture that everybody goes to prison is a bad. So we got to be, there's this fear tactics that we use, and I think that's wrong. And we need to give them, a second chance. It doesn't mean that we let them get away. They have to pay the consequences for their actions. But I think as a society, we have to take away the contempt that we see as it relates to people that for some or whatever reason find themselves in our custody.
Do you see this initiative helping the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, given the numbers that we've been seeing in recent years?
Well, the thing about that, if we provide the right opportunities for people to rehabilitate themselves, when people have finished serving their times, we help them to re-enter into society successfully. We're definitely going to reduce the recidivism rate, and people would have constructive things to do out there and not return into prison.
Right. And the project launch?
Oh, well, actually, the book signing is tomorrow.
Right.
At 5 p.m. at the audiovisual room of the National Library on Abercrombie Street. We begin at 5, and so we want to invite everyone to come across and hear what's going to happen.
What is going to happen? What will people take away?
Well, Mr. Holder also brought with him one of his mentors, a young man who was in prison while he was a warden there. And he would be sharing his testimony. And he's now a songwriter, musician. He will be performing along with a inmates band from Port Spain prison.
All right, and the book signing, as Mr. Bidesi just said, will be held on Friday, which is tomorrow, at 5 p.m. at the National Library in Port of Spain, while the mentoring session will be conducted at 9 a.m.
This morning at 9 a.m. at the Youth Training Center.
Right, good initiative, something for people to look forward to. For contact information, people want to get the book.
Yeah.
If you want to get a copy of the book, you can contact us at 322-0043, or you can look up my Facebook page, and you'll get information there on how you can access the book.
All right, Mr. Krishna Bidesi, President of the National Alliance of Faith and Justice Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Carlisle Holder, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on and talking to us this morning about this very important initiative to help our young men. We take a break and come back with more. Stay with us.